Hello, everyone. This is a virtual book talking activities for the summer. My name is Gloria Rhodes. I am the Outreach and Diversity Initiatives Librarian at San Diego State. And I have books, I selected books for this first session this summer that I really enjoyed reading, and it shows all people from all walks of life. And then I have some with some animals doing their thing as well. So I'm going to start the book talk. I'm going to go off camera, but the talk will still be going on. Next slide. My first book is called Soul Food Sunday, and it was written by Winsome Bingham, and it's illustrated by C.G. Esperanza. And I can tell you right now, when I finish with this book, you're going to want to go in the kitchen and fix some of these dishes that are prepared in the book. Soul Food Sunday. On Sundays, everyone gathers at Granny's for soul food. The whole family is here. Mamas and papas, aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, and a whole lot of cousins. We park in the driveway and along the street. Car horns beep, car doors slam, car alarms glook glook. The men head to the basement, except for Roscoe Ray. He's the grill master. He has a spot at the side of the house. Everything he needs is there. Grilled coal, lighter fluid, CD player, gotta have some music, a chair with an umbrella, you have to rest, and a tiny TV to watch football. Granny goes in the kitchen with Mama and her sisters, and she puts or straps on an apron. The children sprint to the backyard or to the great room for video games. But today, I don't go to the backyard or the great room. Where do you think I'm going to be? I follow Granny instead. You're a big boy now, Granny says. Time for you to learn. She hands me Grandpa's chef jacket, the one he wore in the army. Put this on, baby, and come with me. Granny drops blocks of cheese on the table. There's white cheese, yellow cheese, orange cheese, holy cheese. We need a whole lot of cheese. Unless mac and cheese is on the table, it's not Soul Food Sunday. Mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Granny grates the cheese in a big blue bowl. Now you hold the grater like this, baby. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Now you try. I grate. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Got it, baby, says Granny. Now when you're finished, come see me. I grate and grate and grate. My hand hurt, my arm aches, but I don't quit. Cheese stacked high like a mountain. I'm finished. Granny checks my work. Good job, baby. That's the best grated cheese I've seen in all my life. Greens is next. Granny pulls the greens from the bunch. We need clean greens, a whole lot of greens, baby. Unless greens is on the table, it's not Soul Food Sunday. Granny fills the sink with water and vinegar and lemon juice. Greens gotta be clean, baby, she says, scrubbing and shaking. Collards, turnips, mustards. Granny rubs the leaves. They squish, squish, squish like she was hand washing clothes. I don't cook no grainy greens. This is the only way to get all the dirt out. She rinses over and over. She rolls them together. She rips them apart. Remember, you rinse and roll and rip, baby. Now you try. So I stand in front of the sink. I rinse and roll and rip. You got it, baby, says Granny. Now when you're finished, come see me. I rinse and roll and rip and rip and rip. My hand hurt, my arm aches, but I don't quit. Soon greens pile high. I'm finished. Granny checks my work. Good job, baby. That's the best greens I've seen in all my life. Roscoe Ray needs help with the meat, says Granny. We cooking chicken and ribs and sausage. A whole lot of chicken and ribs, baby. Unless meat is on the table, it's not Soul Food Sunday. Granny slaps sausage and slabs of ribs in the sink. Pork ribs, beef ribs, hot and spicy sausage links. She skins the chicken. She strips the membranes from the ribs. She slices the sausage. Did you see that, baby? Says Granny. Now you try. I scan and strip and strip. We switch places. I skin the chicken. I strip the membrane. I slice the sausage. You got it, baby, says Granny. Now when you're finished, come see me. And slice and slice and slice. My hand hurt, my arm aches, but I don't quit. Soon chicken ribs and sausages stack up next to the sink. I'm finished. Granny checks my work. Good job, baby. That's the best looking meat I've seen in all my life. The grill is ready, Roscoe Ray yells. He scoops the meat on a pan and disappears through the side door. Well, everything is cooking now, Granny says. We take a break. I take a nap. Your mama, God knows what she's about to do, but you go on outside and play. But I don't want to play. I want to make something special. Granny chuckles. Baby, every food we make is special. Soul Food Sunday is about coming together. It's about us being a family, working together, a team. And we have everything, baby. Then I had an idea. I know something we forgot, I say. Do you need help, baby? No, I could do it by myself. Well, I will leave you to be. While Granny naps, I'm busy brewing, dropping ice, dunking tea bags, sugaring and sweetening, lemoning and liming. And when I see Mama setting the food on the table, I put the jug next to the mac and cheese and greens and ribs and chicken and sausages. Granny comes down from her nap. I'm finished, I tell her. Granny sips. It's a small. Then she takes another sip and a gulp and two more gulps. This is the best tea I've tasted in all my life. Thank you, Granny, I say. Unless sweet tea is on the table, it's not, and you can say this together, Soul Food Sunday. Soul Food Sunday, written by Winsome Bingham, illustrated by C.G. Esperanza. And you can have a lot of fun with this book. Next slide, please. At the end of each page where it says Soul Food Sunday, you can read it together. And I have a recipe for mac and cheese. So maybe you can one Sunday or during the week or anytime you feel like it, maybe try this recipe out for mac and cheese. And that is the activity for this book. Yum, yum. Okay. Next slide. Our next book is taking a whole different turn. It's about what you think about when you look at yourself. Some people say I'm tall. Some people think they're small. Some people think they're short. Some people think they're big. And so you're going to see in here, You Are Not Small. It's by Anna Kang, and it's illustrated by Christopher Wynant. And I'm not going to read this word for word because you need the book in front of you really to turn the pages and everything. But what it's about is two fuzzy playmates. They can't agree on who is small and who is big until a couple of surprise guests show up, setting or making the choice once and for all. So this story looks at things from from perspective. So perspective is in relation to body size. So if you stand next to someone real tall, you're going to look small. If you stand next to someone small, you're going to look probably tall. And so it offers you a relationship to body size, who you stand next to, and where you are when you consider if you are small or if you are big. So this is you are and not in parentheses small by Anna King, illustrated by Christopher Wynot. Next slide. So this this book is A Garden in My Hands. It's written by Mira Shriram, illustrated by Sanya Pribhat. A Garden in My Hands. Stories and seeds Mama plants in my palm for a wedding tomorrow. We'll go with Dada and Dottie. Falling raindrops drizzle on buds. Mama sings me her moonstone memory. So this is moonstone is a rain, heavy rain. And she's telling these stories while she is putting paint on her hands. She smiles and shares her wedding story of pearls on a string, petals on a vine. Teardrops, crisscrosses. Mama adds thorns to roses. She tells me of us ancestors long ago. And this is called henna. My henna, and it's like a ink. My henna is still fresh, like damp earth. I'll keep it warm all night for the deepest red. Careful not to snip a smudge of story. My hand's like a scarecrow. Oh no, I smear a lush spot. Mama lends a hand, and I stained her new scarf. My two sorry arms will tomorrow. I search for a home for my half-dry hands. I tuck my henna in and snuggle with our stories. In soft paper layers and old cotton gloves, I hug the wind world and drift into dreams. So in this book, when my eyes catch the sun, I hold my breath. What if it's a mess? What if I lose a story? As I rub off dry flakes, a sigh leaves my chest. I wash away my worries. I float into a garden, a bouquet of flowers, peacocks, and paisleys, beautiful stories in the most perfect shade. My fairy tale hands match. Mama leans over, kisses my garden. Dada peers into my hand. Dottie traces my swirl, our hands like a garland. We sway to the beat. The sweet smell of henna and the stories we carry fill us with pride of a faraway home. A garden in my hands, I will tend for days. A garden in my heart, I will hold forever. So this is and the author says, when she was a kid growing up in India, my mother often grounded henna leaves and applied henna paste to my palms and fingers. I would walk around all evening with my arms stretched out in front or to the side, careful not to mess up any part of the design. When I also had my feet done, which are rare, I would walk around on my heels. I remember the cool feeling on my freshly done hands when the air around me was hot and sticky. At night, my mother would feed me my dinner and prepare my special bed, usually a straw mat on the warm open terrace. In the morning, I would quickly rub off the dry flakes and rush to the sink, eager to see the shade of red. I still love henna, and every time I smell my henna palm, it makes me back home. It takes me back home to my mother, quiet summer nights, and many childhood joys. This is what the author said she feels, and this is why she wrote A Garden in My Hands. for other people to have an idea of henna in India. Next slide, please. So your activity is, this is what henna looks like, and you can actually show this slide before you start reading the story to give your student an idea of what the story is all about. And it's a sign of a celebration, and henna designs to draw. And so you can try them first with the pencil on paper, and then maybe you can make henna for your hands. From A Garden in My Hands, written by Meera Sriram and illustrated by Sanya Prabhat. Next slide. And this is the slide that tells you how to apply henna. We got a lot of work to do with these virtual book talks for this first session for the summer. Next slide. So this is a story called Salt in His Shoes. So it's for anyone who loves basketball, or even if you don't love basketball, you're going to get a meaning from this story. Salt in His Shoes by Michael Jordan, In Pursuit of a Dream. So this is a picture book that's a biography. It was written by Dolores Jordan, who is Michael's mother, with Rosalind Jordan, who is Michael Jordan's sister, and is illustrated by Kadir Nelson. Salt in His Shoes. Michael loved to play basketball. Every Saturday, he followed his older brothers, Larry and Ronnie, to the park, hoping that they would let him play. And if one of the guys who usually played with them didn't show, they always did. But there was one problem. His name was Mark, and he was the tallest boy on the court. What's the matter, Mikey? Too short? Mark flapped his arms in Michael's face. Over here, shouted Larry. But when Michael threw the ball, Mark's long arms came out of nowhere and knocked the ball away. It flew into the hands of a player on Mark's team. He made the basket, and the game was over. Just like that. I'm really sorry, guys. If I were taller, that wouldn't have happened. All the way home, Michael apologized, even though no one was mad at him. His oldest brother, Ronnie, tried to cheer him up. Little brother, you played good today. Don't worry, we'll win next time. When they got home, Michael went into the kitchen where Mama was cooking dinner. He was still disappointed, and she could tell. You guys lost again today, huh? Michael nodded. He sat quietly for a minute, then said, Mama, how can I grow taller? Now, Mama knew the answer to a lot of questions, but this was a tough one. She thought for a moment as she sprinkled salt and pepper on the chicken she was making for dinner. Then she smiled, looked at Michael, and said, salt. Salt? Michael looked at his mom. Salt in your shoes. We'll put salt in your shoes and say a prayer every night. Before you know it, you'll be taller, she replied. Salt in my shoes, Michael said quietly to himself. Surely Mama was teasing. He sat staring out the window, trying to figure out how salt was going to help him grow. He noticed the rose bushes outside in Mama's garden. They had grown high along the fence, and the roses of all colors were blooming on the vines. He thought to himself, I remember when Mama first planted those bushes. Michael's face lit up. If Mama knows how to make those rose bushes grow taller, then maybe she's right. Maybe salt in my shoes really will help me grow. Growing more excited, Michael twirled around and started asking lots of questions. Mama, how long will it take? And how tall do you think I'll get? Smiling, Mama sat down next to him and explained, in order for this to work, the most important things you have to do are to be patient and listen to what I tell you and say your prayers every night. Listening carefully, Michael shook his head. Okay, Mama, I'll be patient. But what does saying my prayers have to do with it? Everything, Mama replied, and she hugged him. Now go wash up and tell your brothers and sisters to get ready for dinner. Michael dashed out of the kitchen, almost knocking over his father, who was walking in. What's he up to now? Asked Daddy. Oh, the usual, laughed Mama, chasing a dream. Later during dinner, Mama noticed that Michael was barely eating anything. He was already daydreaming about being taller. Michael, first things first, you won't grow if you don't eat, especially your vegetables, Mama said. But I'm not really hungry, he said. Raising her eyebrows, Mama gave him a stern look. Slowly, Michael picked up his fork and began to eat. Minutes later, his plate was clean and he was asking for more. That evening at bedtime, Michael set his favorite game shoes on the floor next to the growth chart hanging on the wall. Then he put on his pajamas, said his prayers, and jumped into bed. When Mama came in, Michael was fast asleep. By the look on his face, she could tell he was already playing basketball in his dreams. Standing by his bed, Mama sprinkled salt in his shoes. Then she prayed quietly over him, as she did all her children. Dear God, please help Michael to be the best he can be and to give his best in all that he does. And Lord, could you please make him just a little bit taller tomorrow than he is today? Thank you. Amen. After that night, Michael wore his favorite game shoes everywhere he went, even to church. And he hoped he stopped going to the park with his brothers on Saturdays. Instead, he stayed home and practiced. He wanted to grow a few more inches before he went back to the park. After 2 months of practicing and waiting patiently and praying, Michael stood next to the growth chart on his wall. Nothing. He hadn't grown an inch. He was disappointed, but he did not stop believing. I've just got to give it time, like Mama said, Michael thought to himself. And that's what he did. 2 more months of practicing went and by, and still nothing. Now Michael was becoming a little sad. Not only had he not grown 1 inch, but he also missed playing basketball with Larry and Ronnie. About the only thing he didn't miss was being picked on by Mark. When the next Saturday came, his brothers tried to get Michael to go with them to the park, but he wouldn't budge. Mama had begun. When she saw Michael sitting alone on the steps, she said to Daddy, maybe you should go out and talk to him. So Daddy went out and sat with Michael. What's wrong, son? You haven't gone to the park with your brothers for a while. Are you okay? Michael didn't say anything at first. Then he looked at Daddy and said, I thought I would be, well, at least be a few inches taller by now. I did everything Mama told me to do, but nothing's happened. Michael, why do you want to be taller? Daddy asked. If I were taller, I'd be a great player and I could help our team win, Michael answered. But you are a great player, son, and you already have everything it takes to be a winner right in here. And Daddy tapped Michael on his chest. Being taller may help you play a little better, but not as much as practice, determination, and giving your best will. Those are the things that make you a real winner. Michael thought about what Daddy said for a minute. Then suddenly he jumped up and took off. Where are you going? Daddy yelled after him. I've got today. I'm late, Michael yelled back. When Michael reached the park, the game had started. He sat on the bench hoping he would get a chance to play, and he did. The game was almost over and the score was tied when John, one of the guys on Michael's team, fell and hurt himself. Here was Michael's chance. Michael joined his team in the huddle as they gathered on the side for a timeout. Okay, the game is tied. All we need is 1 point. Who wants to take the shot? Ronnie asked. He looked in Michael's direction. Feeling more confident than ever, Michael said, I'll do it. When the whistle blew and the game began again, Mark began to pick on Michael as usual. Still trying to play with the big boys, huh? Mark taunted, but Michael paid him no attention. Taller or not, he had been practicing, and today he was determined to win. Larry threw the ball and bounced to Michael. Michael caught it, bounced it for a moment, and took off running. As he approached Mark, Michael shifted to his right. Mark followed, but while he was still shifting, Michael spun to his left. He stepped behind Mark and shot. The ball arced far above his opponent's hand and fell silently through the hoop. 2 points. The game was over. Michael's team had won. It was just as Michael had dreamed. When he realized what he had done, Michael took off running and didn't stop until he had reached home. Bursting through the door, he shouted, "I did it, Daddy. I did it. I shot right over the tall guy's head and we won the game." Running in behind him, Ronnie and Larry joined the celebration. "That's right, little brother. You did. You won the game for us." Michael remembered the look that Ronnie gave him during the last time out of the game and said, "Now we won the game, but I was the star." They all laughed. After that, Mama stopped putting salt in Michael's shoes, but Michael did not stop being patient and working hard and praying. So that must be what made Michael grow to be 6'6" tall basketball superstar. Salt in His Shoes, Michael Jordan in Pursuit of a Dream, by Dolores Jordan with Rosalind M. Jordan, illustrated by Kadir Nelson. Next slide. So here is a activity for this book. Draw a picture of you and your favorite basketball player and a basketball hoop if you like, because you already have the basketball there. And you could go outside and shoot hoops in your yard or at the park or at school, wherever you have a basketball go in. So it's a lot of activities for you that you can do in Salt in His Shoes, Michael Jordan in Pursuit of a Dream. And the salt didn't really have anything to do with him growing. With age, he grew. And but he had determination and a strong will, and he knew what he wanted to do. All right, next slide. Ask Me is a story by Bernard Weber, illustrated by Susie Lee. So in this story, a father and a daughter walk through their neighborhood, and there are lots of questions coming up, like what else and how come, as they explore the world. Ask Me by Bernard Weber, illustrated by Susie Lee. Ask me what I like. What do you like? So this is a father and daughter. I like dogs. I like cats. I like turtles. I like geese. Geese in the sky or geese in the water? I like geese in the sky. No, in the water. I like both. Ask me what else I like. What else do you like? I like frogs. I like frogs swimming and frogs hopping. I like bugs. Insects? No, bugs. I like butterflies and lightning bugs. Fireflies? No, lightning bugs. And I like beetles and bumblebees and dragonflies. And I like flowers. No, I love flowers. Bees love flowers too, right? Right. And bees make honey, right? Right. Ask me what else I like. What else do you like? I like horses. No, I like riding horses. You rode a horse on a merry-go-round, remember? You remember? I remember. Ask me if I like ice cream cones. Do you like ice cream cones? No, I love, love, love ice cream cones. What else do I like? Okay, what else do you like? I like sand. I like digging in the sand. I really, really do like digging in the sand. Deep, deep, down, down in the sand. And I like seashells. Remember when we collected seashells? I remember. And I like starfish. Ask me some more I likes. How about some more I likes? I like the color red. I like everything red. Ask me what else. What else? I like rain. I like splishing and splashing and splooshing in the rain. Splishing and splashing and splooshing. I like those words. They're rain words. I made them up. I know. Ask me what else I like. What else do you like? I like stories. I like stories about bears. Now ask me how come. All right. How about how come? How come birds build nests? All right. How come birds build nests? You tell it so they will have a safe place to lay their eggs. I knew that. Why did you ask? Because I like to hear you tell it. Ask me another I like. All right. How about another I like? I'm thinking. I'm waiting. I know. What? Next Thursday. What about next Thursday? I like next Thursday. Do you know why I like next Thursday? Why do you like next Thursday? Because next Thursday is what? What? My birthday. You knew that. How could I ever forget? You wouldn't. Wouldn't what? Forget my birthday. Not in a million years, but I forget your birthday. How about a billion years? Not even in a billion years. That's better. And you won't forget that I like balloons, party hats, games, and a big cake that says happy birthday. I won't forget. Now ask me if I'm sleepy. Are you sleepy? No, I'm not sleepy. Well, a little sleepy. No, I'm a whole lot sleepy. How about if we say goodnight? Where's my teddy? Here's your teddy. And my kangaroo. Here's your kangaroo. Good night. Good night. Please leave the door open. The door is open. Good night. Wait, ask me something else. What? Ask me if I want another good night kiss. Would you like to have another good night kiss? Yes, I would like another good night kiss. Good night. Good night. Next slide. And so with this, you can just sit and talk and about the story. And you can also just make up your own story with asking your child or your cousin or your friend or whoever you're reading the book to, make it about them. Ask what they like. And for your activity for this, remember one of the things she loved was ice cream. So we have a picture of an ice cream cone, and you can color your ice cream cone, your favorite ice cream flavor. Ask Me by Bernard Weber, illustrated by Susie Lee. Next slide. That's the end of this first summer session of our virtual book talks. Happy summer reading. It's been great talking to you. And until next time, this is Gloria Rhodes, Outreach Librarian at San Diego State University with the Women's Resource Center, bringing your summer stories and activities.